For as long as we've existed, the speed of human thought has been one of our greatest strengths. But we've always been limited by how fast we can express those thoughts. Today, we're going to explore a technology that is finally beginning to close that gap, creating a direct link between the human mind and the digital world. Just think about it for a second. The speed of your own internal voice. Ideas, words, memories, they just flow, one after another, far faster than you could ever hope to speak them aloud. It's this incredible high-speed stream of consciousness. The problem has always been that translation step. The physical act of speaking or typing on a keyboard, well, it's a bottleneck. It forces all those fast-moving thoughts through a very, very narrow channel. But what if we could just bypass that channel completely? This number, this is where things start to change. 62. 62 words per minute typed directly from the brain signals of a person who is physically unable to speak. Now, this isn't science fiction anymore. This is a brand new benchmark for what's possible. So to really grasp what this number means, we have to see it as more than just a piece of data. It really represents us crossing a critical threshold in what this kind of technology can do. So this comes from a 2023 study in the journal Nature, and it's not just a small step forward. At 62 words per minute, it is more than 3 times faster than the previous record for a brain-computer interface. And here's the key. It's actually faster than the average person can type on a smartphone. This moves us completely out of that old era of slow, letter-by-letter spelling systems and into something that feels like a real-time conversation. So how on earth is this actually possible? Well, the science behind it is really elegant. It's not about reading minds or guessing thoughts. It's about decoding the brain's incredibly precise instructions for how to speak. You see, the system hones in on a very specific part of the brain called the motor cortex. This is the area that plans out all the complex muscle movements you need to form words: your tongue, your jaw, your lips. And what's amazing is that even when someone is unable to physically speak, their brain is still generating those commands. The technology itself is just remarkable. They use these tiny, high-resolution implants. They're called intracortical microelectrode arrays, and they place them right in that region. These little arrays are so sensitive, they can actually detect what's called spiking activity. That's the electrical firing of individual brain cells as they issue the commands for speech. Now, here's the really clever part. The system isn't looking for whole words. That would be incredibly complicated. Instead, it's decoding the brain's intent to produce phonemes. Phonemes are just the basic fundamental building blocks of sound in any language. You know, the ah or the puh sound. Every single word we say is just a sequence of these little sounds. Okay, so let's walk through how it all works. First, the person simply thinks about speaking a word. That's it. Second, the implants read the specific brain patterns for the phonemes needed to make that word. Then, a really smart AI decoder gets to work, translating those signals and figuring out the probability of each potential sound, all in real time. And finally, a language model, which works a lot like your phone's autocorrect, takes the most likely sequence of phonemes and assembles them into words on the screen. The best way to think about this is not just as a medical device, but as a new kind of infrastructure for human expression. It's like we're finally building a high-speed digital highway directly from the mind. You see, for our entire history, human communication has been stuck in what you could call a biological bottleneck. Our minds are like these high-performance engines, but our output methods, our mouths, our hands, they've been like slow, narrow country roads, throttling our speed. And this really shows you the scale of the change. That old path, using things like eye tracking systems, it gave people a pace of maybe 5 to 10 words a minute. This new brain-computer interface, it's the digital highway. It opens up that channel for speeds 6, even 12 times faster. It is a fundamental upgrade to our communicative bandwidth. But beyond all the numbers and the technology, this is really about a fundamental human need. As one of the study participants, Pat Bennett, put it, it's about the right to be heard. It's about giving back that ability to share your thoughts, your feelings, your ideas freely and without a struggle. So while the immediate goal here is to restore communication for people who've lost it, the long-term vision for this technology, well, it goes much, much further. We're really seeing the very early stages of a huge shift, from restoration to augmentation. This work essentially provides a technical roadmap for a future where silent, high-speed data transfer from our brains to our devices could be completely normal. It points toward a future where we interact with our digital lives not with our fingers, but directly with our intent. And this isn't just speculation. The research itself shows us the path forward. The data reveals a very clear trend. As you increase the number of electrodes recording the brain signals, the word error rate drops a lot. It seems that doubling the electrodes cuts the error rate almost in half, which suggests there's a direct path to making this even faster and even more accurate. And this brings us to a final, profound question. The ultimate goal, really, is to close the gap between this new benchmark and the natural speed of thought itself. So if we get there, if communication no longer requires an audible voice or a physical touch, how would that fundamentally shift the course of human civilization?